I have an infrared camera now. When you take a picture of this house, you can see the heat leakage coming right through that 4 inches of foam, because we drive the heat down into this floor area. And that dirt down there, of course, now there's a bunch of rock. The actual floor level is up there, a couple of inches above where her hands are now. So all this area is filled in with clay, packed clay. If you're going to do backfill, in other words, you're going to dig it out and put it back in, it needs to be packed, compressed really well. Don't throw loose dirt in there and then build on top of it. So this is all code approved. If I had it to do over, I'd put 6 or 8 or 10 inches of foam down there. It really should have had more foam, but it works fine well it is. And we haven't finished earth berming still around the house. I want to earth berm up close to the level of the straw bale, which we haven't done yet. Another big advantage of this whole organic infill method, where you stack the straw bales or use crumpled up newspaper or shredded paper or leaves or old blue jeans, if you could find them, you could fill those walls with anything. This particular structure was built with no studs. How we did this one was tons and tons of scrap lumber and plywood out of dumpsters, particularly Habitat for Humanity dumpster. Now, when they throw it away, it's not good stuff. They use up their own scrap. So what we did with this, we had piles and piles of plywood. So we just laid the plywood on the floor. We didn't butt it. We just overlapped it like shingles on a roof and didn't cut anything. Just laid it all out kind of like a big jigsaw puzzle. And if there was 3 inches of overlap in one place, fine. If there was 2 feet of overlap in another place, fine. And then just nailed the bejesus out of it and leaned it up. Now there's framing around the doors and windows, but that is just a plywood wall with no studs. And then we did the same thing inside of that, again, as an infill wall. Now in this case, I had lots of scrap fiberglass because we were pulling it out of the dumpsters, and I didn't have any straw available, so I just shoved 12 inches of fiberglass in there. So this is plywood and fiberglass is how those walls are built. The advantage of these infill walls is they're great for low-skill labor, for community labor. These are all friends of mine. I could tell you their names, but that doesn't mean anything to you. So they stuff the fiberglass in there, give them a face mask, and then they do all the stucco. When they're slapping the stucco up, you can see the chicken wire. Now, if you're going on top of sheathing, the ideal, you would, on top of plywood, chipboard, anything like that, the way I do it, and again, this is just my opinion, as I use a layer of roofing felt so the moisture can't get back into the wood, and then 2 layers of chicken wire. They used to make, if you want to do it the expensive way, you can use expanded metal lath. That is expensive stuff. Chicken wire is much cheaper. They used to make something called stucco wire. I can't find it anymore. It's a wire that has some depth to it. When you nail chicken wire straight on a piece of plywood, the wire is right against the wood. So basically, we do 1 layer of chicken wire and then a second layer, and the first layer of chicken wire kind of holds the second layer out a little bit, basically so the stucco can grip around the chicken wire. That is a lot more tedious and time-consuming than just the not having the sheathing and going straight to the studs, because you end up using a crap ton of nails to get that chicken wire flattened out against the plywood. But mind you, this is lumpy plywood. Like I said, it's just layered. It's not butted up, sheeted. The sheets are not butted up against each other, and you can't tell the difference. It all works out smooth when you're done. But it's a lot of roofing nails, and we use staples. I had an electric staple gun. We used that some too, to pop those staples in there to get the chicken wire to settle down. So anyway, this is a really cheap way to build. You get your friends, figure out what they like to eat, get them some food and some soda or beer or whatever it is they want to do, and they'll help you do the work, usually, if you have any friends.